Nós assim tá ave com Margy Bond, Margy tá consulado aqui na consulado americano. Anda ita dentro recta final para vai back America. E tem 2 anos e meio na Kòrsou for de 2022, januário de 2022, Margy tá aqui não. Pero Margy assina tanto tem 2 anos e meio e nós é algo interessante para nós conversar com ele, me explica-nos quanto coisa lá, que ela pensa de Kòrsou, ou ela chega, então, que ela pensa de Kòrsou, aonde que ela vai lá nós depois de 2 anos e meio. Margy, welcome.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Roosevelt House, and I'm happy to see you today.
Thank you. Margy, it's almost 2.5 years that you're living now, us now. We don't say ayo, we don't say
aweró.
Yes.
Aweró, because I'm not leaving forever.
No, you have to come back because I know you're in love with Curacao.
I am in love with Curacao, yes.
What was your, what did you think about Curacao when you first arrived here? And after 2.5 years you live in Curacao, did it change your expectations? Tell me about it.
Well, when I first arrived, well, let me first say that before coming, this was my first choice assignment. I wanted to come to Curacao. So when I got here, I was really, really happy to be here. And I just wanted to explore and to get to know the island and to get to know the people. And what I expected was, my expectations were surpassed with how kind people were, how friendly they were, how welcoming. And serving in the Foreign Service like I do, serving overseas, far from home, this is one of the assignments where even though I was far from home, I felt at home. I felt very at home here. I felt very warmly embraced by the people of Curacao. I really enjoyed everything from the food to the culture to the natural beauty of the island. I've really enjoyed it from my very first day. I felt blessed to be here.
What was the thing that you most liked from Curacao?
Oh, the people.
The people.
The people, absolutely. The people of Curacao are wonderful people. You come from all walks of life. You are a melting pot. You have an incredibly interesting history. You've come through very difficult times. You're resilient people who are ready to take on challenges, and you're people who have incredible hustle. Everybody I know here in Curacao is doing multiple things. You might have your job, but you also have so many other responsibilities. You're a mother, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you are an artist, you're creating in some other way. People have very full lives. They have a lot of responsibilities, but they carry those responsibilities, they carry those duties with so much grace. I'm very impressed with the people of Curacao.
Did you taste our food?
Yes.
Yes?
I love the food.
Which one you like most?
Well, I have to say I really like funchi hasa. I really like funchi hasa with queso. I also, arepa pampuna is one of my favorites.
Pampuna, yes.
And the only place I've ever seen this dish served is when I drive out to the west side. On the way out to the west side, when you get to Soto, there's a church. And next to the church, there's some ladies selling food.
Yes.
On the weekend. And I always stop there, and I like the mangusa.
The mangusa, yes.
But I've never seen mangusa anywhere else. No. And I also like the tutu.
Okay.
But you can see I like all the carbohydrates.
Okay.
I like all the carbohydrates. So
yes.
I like to stop there and get a snack as well.
Yes, you find them on the side of the road, right in front of the church.
Right in front, in Soto, I think.
Yes, okay. So the food is good.
It's so good.
Okay.
I recommend everyone stop at that church in Soto. Buy the food.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yeah. Margy, you were in charge for different projects here in Curacao, and especially the project that involved children, students. You were involved in a project to bring English in the primary education, and also the project where you signed an agreement with SSA for a center there. Tell me about these 2 projects and how are they going right now?
Thanks for the question. Those projects are all related to our education initiatives that we are supporting, and they are 2 of the projects that I am most proud of that we have accomplished here. The first program is called Education USA, and that is the one that we signed an MOU for last year with Curacao, and we renewed the MOU just recently in March. So it's going to continue to go forward. So Education USA, the center here on Curacao, and we have another center on Aruba. The idea of those centers is to provide free college advising to students.
Yes.
So I want to make sure people understand that it is free. You should not be being approached to say we are going to charge you for college advising to study in the United States, because there are free services here on Aruba, here on Curacao, and as well on Aruba. At the center, which is what the one on Curacao is located at SSC. We signed the agreement with SSC. They've assigned a full-time advisor who has her own office in SSC, and she is there to meet with students or parents who want to come in and find out how does it work to study in the United States if you want to go to post-secondary studies. Are there 2-year colleges that might be appropriate? Are there 4-year colleges that would be more appropriate? How do you take the tests that are required, like the SATs? How do you apply for a visa? What do you need to do to prepare for your studies in the US? So the College Advising Center does all of that for free. They also have virtual tours for kids who want to come and watch a video, a presentation of a university they're interested in. And they're also connected to all the other college advisors that we have in our network of Education USA. So that's a free service that we provide. It started last fall with a big launch. And now our educational advisor, her name is Jessie. She's she's a Curacao woman, and she's fantastic. You should go interview her. And she is going out to schools. She's meeting with the community. She's inviting people in. So she's providing an outstanding service, because we really want to see more young people think about the United States as an opportunity for their higher education.
And that's not only the information they give. It's not only for the ones that go with SSA, with the beca.
No, you don't have to get SSA beca. It's not related really. It's centered in SSA. But if you're somebody who doesn't need a beca, or who doesn't qualify, or who also wants a beca but wants to know this, it's a complimentary service. So it's independent of SSA, it's just located in SSA. So they can also advise you on how do scholarships work in the United States, how do you get funding there, how do you get grants. And they also, of course, are very in close touch with the Ministry of Education, which has been working really hard on creating in-state partnerships with American universities so that students from Curacao will get in-state tuition at U.S. universities. So that's something else that we are also really happy that the Minister of Education has made, and Sydney Justiana have made big strides in creating those in-state partnerships so that kids have more reasonable opportunities that are not quite as costly. So we're really proud of Education USA, and it's free. Parents and kids should go by and visit it. It's in Otra Banda, so it's also very easily accessible.
Yes, yes. And because you just renewed the agreement this year, it's because the information is necessary. People are going there to get the information.
Yes, and we're about to do an expansion there with Sydney Justiana and with Jessie. We're doing a big investment in the 3rd floor, where it's going to be a center with some computer stations and couches and tables that will really attract kids who, maybe you're a high school kid and you want to go do your homework after school or do some research on colleges, you can go there. There's going to be a space on the 3rd floor of SSC that we're supporting building. So we're really excited about it.
Yes. And tell me about the one for the primary education.
Yeah, so this is an initiative that actually I just visited the school yesterday because one of my top priorities before I left was to go by and see the school. The school is in action. The school is called San Antonius.
San Antonius, yes.
And it is a pre-K, it's a kindergarten. They have two kindergarten classes that we have provided the full curriculum for. And it's an English immersion program. So the way this came about is that we invested in a curriculum. The U.S. Consulate paid to develop a curriculum. We hired experts from the United States, educators and consultants who looked at all the curriculums throughout the United States, which ones are the most effective, and they selected the best of the best. And then they took those curriculums and they adapted them to Curacao so that the information is relevant to the kids of Curacao. So we are not imposing our culture or our examples or our ideas on kids, but we're using what's comfortable to them to adapt the curriculum for local kids. So once we developed the curriculum, we had to get a school. And San Antonius, the RK School Board, raised their hand and said, we'll try it. So last year in September, they launched 2 classes of kindergarten. fully immersed in English. All of their lessons are in English.
In English.
And the kids are doing fantastic. They are doing fantastic. The consulate paid for having a trainer come and do training of the teachers before they launched the school. So she came and taught them the curriculum. You have to teach the teacher how the curriculum works. And she walked through the curriculum with all the teachers that were involved, plus some additional who were interested. So the teachers have really embraced this curriculum. And going yesterday to see the kids in the school, I read a story to the classrooms, I talked to some of the kids. They are just little sponges. They are just absorbing all that information. They're yelling out words from the book in English. They're really comfortable. They are phenomenal.
Yes.
I saw some of the kids doing math, but in an English, with our English curriculum, and it's very hands-on, where they're moving beans and doing things that they were really focused on. And the teachers are phenomenal. The teachers have embraced this curriculum. They are taking it to the next level, to the point that now they want to have more classes at San Antonio's.
Oh.
Next year, these kids are going to go up to the next level, and then we're going to have a kindergarten plus the next level in English immersion. And San Antonio's is looking at opening up an entirely new English immersion program on the east side of the island. So the program is expanding. My conversations yesterday also, I met with Minister Van Haydorn, and he said, we really want to get this for the public schools. And what I emphasized to him is that we're here to support you as a partner. Good. The curriculum is free. It's available on our website. Any teachers that want to look at it and try it or adopt it, even if you're not a fully English immersion school, you can take a part of it. You can take a unit and decide, I'm going to do math, or I'm going to do this one unit in English, and just start to incorporate it into your Dutch, predominantly Dutch curriculum, or your Papiamentu curriculum. So we're really excited. The proof is there if you go visit that school, how well it's doing.
Yes.
So I'm really happy about it.
Because nowadays, it's not, if you want to go to study in Holland, you can do your university or your HBO also in English.
Yes. Yeah, so English is another option. And you know what? Kids here are very successful at English.
Yes.
They feel very confident. They feel their self-esteem rises because they're having success.
Yes.
And we don't say you can't speak Papiamentu in the class. These little kids are 5 years old. They're coming in. Sometimes they speak Papiamentu. That's fine. The teachers are okay with that. But they're layering on the English as they go. But nobody is made to feel less or inadequate. We are really trying to build up these kids. And I saw some of the kids yesterday. A few of them have special needs, and the teachers are are supporting them, making them all feel so confident in their skills and their abilities. So it's really great to see. And we do see that English is an option for kids as they get older.
Yes.
We understand that the HAVO and the SVBO test is not going to be required in Dutch, I think, going forward.
That's right.
Maybe this year or next. More and more universities in the Netherlands are doing programs in English. And it's evident when you walk around Curaçao how the young people speak English quite well already.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the project for the kids that's going to school. But we have the project for young leaders also.
Yeah, that's another pillar of the work that we do here is our people-to-people exchanges. And our Young Leaders of the Americas initiative is one that we are really thrilled about how it is growing. Initially, when it started, we had to really recruit to get people to apply for the program. This year, we didn't do as much recruiting as we've done in the past. It's getting to be word of mouth. Our previous graduates from the program are posting on Facebook, are sharing their experience. This year, the applications just closed yesterday, and we have abundant applicants, excellent applicants from all 3 islands, St. Martin, Aruba, and Curaçao. So we are now in the process of looking through those applications. But that program, these young people who are young entrepreneurs or business leaders or civil leaders in their own community, they, between the ages of 25 and 35, can apply to this program. It's a 5-week placement at a program in the United States where you work with a local business or you work with a local organization, and you get that hands-on experience in a business that's maybe similar to your own or maybe has gone a little beyond where your business is, so you can gain that valuable experience. You have a mentor there, and you become part of the network of everybody in the Western Hemisphere has participated in this program. And I think so far there's close to 2,000 people who have participated in the program. So when you become a YLI participant and a YLI graduate, alumni, you are part of that network forever. And here in Curacao and Aruba, when we do events or we have conversations, I always try to include some of the YLI alumni, so they also have access to the conversations that we're having here at the consulate or parts of some of our meetings that we have.
Yes.
So they really become a part of the future of developing Curacao.
And do they have to cover their own cost?
No, no, no. We pay all the costs. Thank you. We pay all the costs. We pay the cost of the program. So the hardest thing for people is that I said before is people have very rich lives here, a lot of responsibilities. So being able to step away from those responsibilities for 6 weeks, that is really a sacrifice. So we recognize that people make a sacrifice to do this program, but we think it's really worth it. But we pay for all the costs.
For all the costs, yes. The American consulate was interested also in Lantoy Sorsaka.
Oh yes, yeah.
Tell me about you're still interested, or how about that project?
Well, yes, that was at the time when we were looking at Landhaus Sorsaka. We were imagining that we were going to face a challenge of the Roosevelt House, that we would maybe have to temporarily move the location of the Consul General to another location. So we did look at that as an option. I had such a big vision for how that might work, and we had great conversations with the people from Minister Cooper's office and others. But in the end, we are not going to be moving the consulate. The Consul General's house is not going to be relocated, so we concluded those conversations. But yeah, I had a great vision for how that might work, but in some ways I'm disappointed that we don't have that project that we'll do together, but in other ways I'm very relieved that I don't have to move out of Roosevelt House, which is such a special location for us to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
But there are plans to build a new consulate.
We have plans that we had been working on for the last couple of years. We did bid out the project, and we got a number of bidders who were interested in the project. However, all of the bids came in significantly over budget. And this was last fall, around November, December. The bids came in significantly over budget. So we have had to go back to assess what those plans were and reassess what the design was and think about how can we make this design or another design work within the budget that we have. And in addition, because of the climate in the U.S. Congress and the difficulty, the very, very strict budgets right now in the U.S. Congress and the fiscal austerity that we're seeing and for some of the initiatives, wasn't really the climate where we could say we are going to go significantly over budget for this project. So we are going to regroup. We're regrouping right now, and we're going to take another look at the design. But I have no doubt that in the future, it's already on the calendar that in the future they are going to find that budget and we are going to proceed with the project.
Yes. Yeah. Margy, you're leaving, but are there any project that you're leaving behind to still working for the other consulate to work on? Yes?
Sure. There's always so much more work to do. One area that I really look forward to seeing what we can do and how we can cooperate are in the areas of climate, addressing the climate crisis. This last year, we did have our first university partnership exchange between the University of Aruba and between Penn State University on sustainable engineering. And that was the first time we'd ever had that kind of a university partnership where kids from both schools came together in Aruba. They met in person. They had a joint curriculum. They have a joint project they had to work on together. Then the Penn State University kids went back to the United States, but the kids worked on this project. They're still working on this project. Actually, this term has not ended. They're working on a project which is to address how to make a specific hotel more sustainable. And they're working on that project together, again, with a professor from Aruba, a professor from Penn State, and a joint curriculum, and 10 kids or so from each country. And they're going to have the results of that program soon. So I hope to build on that kind of experience, university partnership exchanges in the areas of climate change and sustainable development. Really any kind of university partnerships and exchanges would be something I'd like to see us build on. And in climate, also I'd like to see us play more of a role in helping Curacao realize its climate and sustainable energy vision.
Yes.
Curacao has a very ambitious vision for sustainable energy. you're already going for 75% sustainable energy within the next few years. 20, I think you're already at, you're going for 70%, I think, in the next few years.
In a few years,
I think that's the goal in 5 years.
I think for 2028 we have.
Yeah, I think by 2028. But in addition to that, there's a lot going on in terms of green hydrogen and offshore wind, and we want to be partners on that as well. So we have great expertise in the United States, whether from the Gulf of Mexico or Lake Michigan or all these places where we do some of these initiatives, and we're close to Curacao, we're close to Aruba. So we'd like to see opportunities for U.S. Private sector, for U.S. technology, for U.S. academia to be supporting Curacao and Aruba and St. Martin as you develop your future sustainable energy needs. So we're really looking forward to that as an opportunity where I would have liked to have done more in that space, but I think it's you know, it's good that the future people can continue to do more on that. And then before we conclude, I do also want to say that in the area of security and law enforcement, we have done incredible work. And I don't want to neglect mentioning that, because we have our partners with the way we're able to do such good work on security and law enforcement is because of the relationships we have. The relationships with local law enforcement, with KPC, with KPA, with law enforcement on St. Martin, with the local Coast Guard, with the Dutch military, with everybody who works in that area. It is a real partnership, and it's because of great relationships. And because of those incredible relationships, we have seen in 2023 record numbers of seizures, like I think that have broken records over more than 10 years. And we've seized close to 55 metric tons of narcotics, and those were worth $2.2 billion. And that is an important way for us to prevent criminality, drug addiction, rising insecurity on the islands. It not only contributes to U.S. security, but it contributes to the island security. So I'm very proud of what we have done in the area of security and law enforcement as well. And there are heroes. There are heroes on all sides who are working on this area. And great respect to all the colleagues that work in the area of security and law enforcement.
Most of the time we talk about things the consulate do in Curacao, but you're not just for Curacao.
Oh, yeah. We do Aruba. We have a lot of programs on Aruba, and we also on St. Martin. On St. Martin, one of the programs that we're really proud is we're partnering with Ife Badejo on her program Islandpreneur. And with that program, we're supporting the kids, the pitch competition, where the young people, who have won the pitch competition, travel to Atlanta, and we help facilitate the meetings that they have in Atlanta, where they have some educational and cultural and economic meetings. And so that's something we're really proud of, the work that we're doing in St. Martin. And in fact, we are supporting their program they're going to do later in June 23rd to 24th. It's the Islandpreneur Power Conference for women from all 3 islands. We're going to have, I think, 10 participants from Aruba and 10 participants from Curacao that are going up there to be, learn and to network on being entrepreneurs. So we're doing a lot there on St. Martin, and Aruba, of course, as well. We have our CBP pre-clearance facility there. We have Education USA there as well. And I already mentioned the University Exchange on Aruba.
There's a lot.
We're working on all the islands. Yeah.
And Margy, what's the next stop?
I'm going back to Washington, D.C. I'm going to be working as a senior fellow at the U.S. Institute of Peace. The U.S. Institute of Peace is an organization that is funded by Congress that works on peace and security issues. And the goal of the Institute is to prevent conflict and to mitigate conflict. And the Institute does it by through academic research, through on-the-ground engagements and trainings, and through analysis. So I'm really excited to go work there. I think I'll mostly be working on Central Africa issues. There are a lot of challenges in Central Africa with stability and conflict, and it kind of brings me back to one of my first jobs, which was I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Congo, and Congo is still terribly affected by conflict. So I might have an opportunity to make a contribution to some some of the most serious conflicts that we are faced with right now.
And we dedicate a lot of attention in English. What about the papiamento? Do you know something about papiamento? You know some words of papiamento?
Mi por papia, pero no por papia, no mi por papia hopi bon. Mi por papia tiki so. Mi por, I can say, I'm not saying goodbye, I'm saying te aweró. And ayo is goodbye. I can speak a little bit, but not great.
Not great.
But I would like to say
you
te
do your
aweró.
best. You do your best.
I do my best.
Okay.
Mi por comprende casi turcos.
Okay. Say the boom.
Mi por comprende casi turcos. Mi no por papia hopi bon.
But you can some words.
I can say
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And Margy, do you have a message that you want to say something to the public, to not only Curacao but all the islands now that you're leaving us from the consulate?
Sure. What I really hope as I depart Curacao is that we build on the relationships that I have created, that I've built with my colleagues here at the consulate, because everything that we do comes from those relationships. And what I foresee for Curacao and Aruba and St. Martin is that we will continue to work together on our mutual interests to build a future of prosperity and security for everybody. Thank you.
Just to finish, are we going to have a female or a male consul?
A male.
A male.
Yes. The next consul, his name is John McNamara, and he's coming in August. And he is the chargé d'affaires in Peru right now. So he's coming from Peru.
From Peru.
Yeah.
Margy, thank you. I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
I hope to see you in Washington. I don't say in Congo, but in Washington. I will see you.
In Washington, yes. You'll see me there.
I will see you there in Washington.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
thank you, Velasco.
Thank you
so much.